choose our socks for success in all endeavors. Fortunes rises from the heel, and good luck for life.
Good morning, this is Qingxiao information of Wednesday, May 7, 2025. Moment of enlightenment: those who promise easily are rarely trustworthy, those who seek many shortcuts will face more difficulties. This is indeed a reflection for navigating the world. In today's world, promises are as numerous as autumn leaves, yet actions are as rare as morning stars. Only those who value promises like tripods, and fear difficulties like the abyss, can remain steadfast amidst the turbulence. Today in history, 164 years ago, the poet Rabindranath Tagore was born. He nourished the dry soul with the holy nectar of Gitanjali and reflected the eternal glimmer of life through the dewdrops of stray birds. His greatness lies not in presenting Bengali literature to the West, but in demonstrating that the true measure of civilization is found in the dialogue with the starry sky late at night, the chant of "life is like a summer flower, flowing between pages," and the gentle resistance of believing that light will sprout in the darkness, even in the darkest times. Welcome to Qingxiao Information. France proposes cutting one-third of agencies. Background: France's public sector budget deficit is 5.4% of GDP. Public Accounting Minister Moncheron announced plans to cut spending by €40 billion next fiscal year, aiming to reduce the deficit to 3% by 2029. Global Mirror: Since taking office, U.S. President Trump streamlined federal agencies, closed several departments, and reduced the workforce by over 80,000 civil servants. In February, Vietnam's government laid off 100,000 civil servants as part of a "slimming down" initiative. Qingxiao's view: The French government's plan to cut one-third of its institutions is a fiscal measure to address the 5.4% budget deficit. However, it highlights a deeper structural conflict between the governance paradigm of industrial civilization and digital civilization. With ChatGPT able to generate policy analysis in seconds and blockchain tracing every financial flow, the traditional, pyramid-like administrative system appears outdated and cumbersome, like a dinosaur skeleton. Global military spending rises to $2.72 trillion. According to the latest report from the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, global military spending reached a new high in 2024, totaling $2.72 trillion, a 9.4% increase from the previous year. This marks a decade of continuous growth, with a cumulative rise of 37%. NATO member states' military expenditure surpassed $1.5 trillion, making up 55% of the global total. Military spending in the Middle East surged by 15% to $243 billion, while military expenditure in Asia and Oceania reached $629 billion, the largest increase since 2009. Qingxiao's view: These spending surges occurred amidst the global pandemic and the growing threat of climate change. It seems humans are more willing to invest in the ability to destroy each other than in the wisdom to coexist. However, the more we pursue absolute security, the deeper our insecurity grows. Perhaps the reflection should not be, how many weapons are needed for security, but rather, how can we create a world where these weapons are unnecessary? China's nuclear power capacity becomes world's largest. Background: A wave of nuclear energy development is sweeping the world. The United States plans to commercialize advanced nuclear energy by 2030, aiming for 200 million kilowatts of nuclear power installed capacity by 2050. Russia plans to operate 12 units by 2035, increasing the share of nuclear energy to 25% by 2045. Over 30 countries, including Poland, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia, have also launched nuclear power construction plans. Qingxiao's view: China's nuclear power installed capacity has surged to the top globally, marking a new phase in the global shift of energy power. This is not only a technological leap but also a signal of the dawn of a nuclear energy civilization. As the fossil energy system gradually disintegrates amid geopolitical conflicts, nuclear energy is reshaping the technical and geopolitical landscape of the 21st century. Spain and Portugal experience widespread power outages. Spain and Portugal experienced a massive power outage, affecting over 50 million people and disrupting transportation, communications, and medical systems. Spain declared a state of emergency, with the European Union calling it one of the worst outages in recent years. Background: the power grids of Spain and Portugal are highly integrated, operating as energy islands, with limited connection to the French and European power grids through only a few cross-border lines. In mid-April, Spain's power grid ran entirely on renewable energy for the first time in a full day. Qingxiao's view: the Spanish power grid's achievement of 100% renewable energy day in April was soon overshadowed by the massive blackout affecting 50 million people, highlighting the challenges of global energy transformation. The outage exposed the technical vulnerabilities of the power grid and the cognitive blind spots in the energy revolution. We're attempting to carry a 21st-century energy dream using a 20th-century power grid structure. This blackout serves as a coming-of-age pain for the new energy civilization, reminding us that true energy transformation is not just a technical shift in power generation sources but a fundamental reorganization of the entire social operation system. Singapore's fuel oil inventories rose by 1.239 million barrels to 24.126 million barrels. Qingxiao's view: while dual-fuel ships account for 58% of global new shipbuilding orders in 2024, 83% of the existing fleet still depends on traditional fuel oil. Alternative fuels like green methanol and LNG currently meet only 4.2% of global ship fuel demand, creating a supply redundancy of "the future has arrived, but the present has not retreated." This inventory shift reflects the creative destruction process in the global energy system. As capital pursues green shipping, the traditional energy system continues its operation with inertia. The friction costs are materializing in the form of abnormal inventory growth. We must be cautious of the negative feedback from inventory price that could lead to a regional price collapse. Today's insight: this morning, we stand between the ruins of administrative reform and the holographic projection of digital government, the steel forest of missile defense systems and the quicksand of people's sense of security, the curling white smoke of nuclear power plant cooling towers and the dark pit of nuclear waste, the gilded words of carbon neutrality commitment and the dark reality of fuel oil storage tanks. Tagore once saw with poetic wisdom, "Faith is a bird before dawn, which has sensed the pulse of light before the darkness fades." In 2025, we need not only the keenness to perceive light but also the courage to create it. For in the end, it is not light that chooses us. It is we who carve the trajectory of light in chaos with every solid step.